Welcome back to the PC Burn Workshop. What I'm taking a look at today is bearings. What I needed them for was a 3D printer table for a scanner, so you can scan objects in. The design on this was pretty good. I had to redesign it for a 608 bearing, so then I realized I would need some 608 bearings to go with it. Unfortunately, the bearings I had didn't actually work too well. They were kind of stuck, frozen. They don't spin very freely. So for this project, I needed them to spin relatively well. So what I did is I cleaned them out with some acetone, and as you can see, after the acetone cleaning, they're not bad. But I was curious whether there was any difference in an acetone clean bearing or a non-acetone clean bearing if I just use the same 3-in-1 PTFE lubricant on them. So I figured I would take two. One of these has been cleaned, one of them hasn't. I have no idea which is which. Drown them in a bit of PTFE lubricant. Make sure it soaks through. Yep. And then see if there's any difference in the two. So I'm not sure if it's just freeing up whatever gunk is in there and it's just not very good bearing grease to begin with, or if the acetone had much of an effect. That's what I was curious about, so I thought I'd shoot a video, show everybody what happens. That doesn't... oh, yep. Alright, so that one's spinning very freely now. And so is that one. So apparently, washing it in the acetone was totally unnecessary. As always, when you use any kind of solvent, follow the manufacturer's recommendation and safety procedures for it. It's always important. That's why I'm wearing gloves. Well, that and the PTFE, don't really want that in my hands either, because it's got to be suspended in some kind of solvent, so that's never great to get on you. But I can't really see a difference there. It'd be nice if these were unsealable, but they're not. They're the press fit crimped on shields for the bearings, so there really isn't a way to get them off to check and make sure there aren't any metal shavings in there. But they appear to be working okay after adding a bit of PTFE to them. Yeah, so I'd say it was a success, and no need to actually wash those, especially not for this application. I'm assuming there are other things you might want to do, so if you're using for roller skates or roller skates, skateboards, probably more likely. You probably wouldn't need to do that at all. You'd probably want the unsealable ones. You can unseal them, re-grease them. Yeah, so there you go. I almost forgot to explain the weird printed bearings on here. Focus. Ah, there we go. These are actually an attempt to print out some 626 bearings, which were the original ones used in the device I was working on. They didn't actually come out half bad, but in the end I just decided to redesign the device for standard 608s. The 608s are actually also printable. Somebody came out with a pretty good pin bearing design. They're on roller pins. When they fail, the pin breaks, so it's obvious. But in the end, I decided to just go with metal bearings, which is why I was cleaning up the races on them.